Yo, what's good YouTube? Swiftly here back with another NBA 2K25 video. And in today's video, I'm actually bringing you guys the first episode in our NBA 2K25 prospect series. Now, on my channel, I used to do these prospect series where I would make prospect builds for upcoming draft picks. We made builds for like Nikola Jurisic. We made builds for Victor Wembanyama, Imani Bates, Anthony Black, Taylor Hendricks, a bunch of upcoming draft picks and whatnot, and I'm bringing this series back on the channel. So in our first episode, we're actually going to be creating Cooper Flagg from the Duke University team. He is a guard slash forward. He is 6'9", 205 pounds, often been compared, as far as NBA comparisons, to Andre Kirilenko, aka AK-47, and Scottie Pippen. And more recently, he just dropped 26-12 against Kentucky. So with that being said, let's jump into his build. Based on what I've seen so far from Cooper, you can make him at shooting guard or small forward. I really wouldn't make him at power forward just because he's not going to be as quick as we'd like to have him. But you can, if you are going to make him, I would make him at either shooting guard, small forward, or power forward. Any of these positions, pretty much you can go with. He is 6'9", even though he's considered, a guard. In the NBA, he'd probably be a small forward or, power forward. I don't think he would be playing guard because he's just not, quick enough to play the one or the two, my opinion. For our build, I did make him at shooting guard, and I went 6'8", so he's not going to be 6'9" exact. But, if you want, you can go up to small forward, which caps out at 6'10", and you can go 6'9", 205 still on the build if you want to make him that way. For my build, I did make him shooting guard at 6'8", and then I did make him 205. And then I left the wingspan default. Actually, no, I'm lying. Excuse me. I put the wingspan up just 7'1", just so that we got some decent rebounding, just because he is a decent rebounder. Now, if you want, you can just go ahead and max out the wingspan just so that you could get even better rebounding. But I personally want a little bit better shooting just because it is 2K. You don't want to completely screw yourself out of having a decent build or a build that can shoot or space the floor. Even though this is supposed to be a Cooper Flagg build, you do want to make your build just, a little bit, just meta, if you will, so you can shoot and whatnot. So moving on, we have the attributes for the finishing. I went with an 82 on the close shot because he does finish at the rim. 80 on the layup, and then 87 on the drive and dunk because he is a good dunker. From the clips that I've seen, the highlights I've seen, and the last game that he played, he can get to the rim. He does like to get to the rim and whatnot. He is a finisher. He's not really much of a three-point shooter. He can shoot the three, but he's not a great three-point shooter. So this build is primarily going to be focused around finishing and mid-range shooting because that's really where his strengths are, which is finishing and mid-range shooting. Moving on, we do have a 47 on the standing dunk, 87 on the driving dunk. And then for the post, I did throw a little 77 on the post because he does, do a little post up every now and then. He does score in the post. He does score in the paint. That's really his bread and butter on how he plays. Same thing with the mid-range. He's more of a mid-range shooter than he is a three-point shooter. So I went ahead and gave him an 87 on the midi. But this is 2K. And we don't want just a pure mid-range build, especially at a guard slash small forward. So we are going to give him a 76 three ball just because he can step out and shoot the three. Not saying that he's the greatest three-point shooter. He's far from Steph Curry or, LeBron or anything like that. But he can shoot it if need be, So, you don't want to just be, leaving him open and whatnot because he can knock it down and whatnot. So that's why I gave him a 76 3, 87 mid-range with a 77 free throw because, again, also if you look at his, stats, he's not the greatest free throw shooter either. He's about an average free throw shooter, so I gave him a 77 on the free throw. Moving on to the playmaking, I gave him a 78 on the pass accuracy because that's about as average as we can go. For the ball handle, we gave him an 80 on the ball handle. And then we gave him a 75 on the speed with ball, which I think pretty much, you know, is where he's at as far as handling the ball. He can handle the ball, can put it on the floor. You know, he can make some passes. He's not the greatest. I think he averaged around 3 assists per game or something like that in high school. So he's not like a terrible passer, or he doesn't, you know, or a terrible playmaker. But he can play make. He can put it on the floor. He can dribble and whatnot. So, you know, to get to the rim and whatnot. So that's why I gave him a 78, a 80, and a 75 with the speed with ball. And that gets us some pretty decent badges, you know, some decent dribbling badges as well as passing badges as well too. Then moving on to the defense, he does average like 3 blocks or something like that. I believe in high school it's like 3 blocks per game, and then even in college right now he's averaging over a block a game as well as a steal. So for the defense, I went ahead and gave him a 74 on the interior defense and an 87 on the block, because he is a good shot blocker. As far as the high school and college level goes, we'll see how, you know, he translates when he gets to the NBA. But based on what I've seen, I'm giving him a 74 on the interior defense, 87 on the block. Then I gave him a 75 for the perimeter defense. You know, pretty solid as far as, you know, just playing defense and staying in front of your man. And then for the rebounding, he is a really good rebounder because he is averaging over 10 boards a game. So I'm giving him an 85 on the defensive board and a 78 on the O board. So we're just going to max out his rebounding because he is a decent rebounder. He will be able to snag with his build with his 78 O board and an 85 D board, especially with the physicals we're going to have. And then finally for the physicals, we're looking at an 80 on the speed, an 80 on the agility. I'm going 75 on the strength, and then finally we'll round it out with 75 on the vertical for an 80 speed, agility, 75 strength, and vertical. Just well-rounded as far as physicals goes. Nothing too crazy, nothing super duper fast, nothing super duper, you know, strong as far as, you know, jumping out the gym or anything like that. He's not super crazy athletic, but he is athletic enough to be a really good shot blocker and jump and whatnot, dunking the ball, being quick off the dribble, getting to the rim and whatnot. So, you know, that's just what I went with. And then, of course, when we create our build, we'll see as far as, you know, things go, what we'll get for a build name. Curious to see what it's going to be titled. And we have a two-way inside the arc creator. And I do think that that kind of sums up how Cooper Flagg plays. You know, he can create, you know, offense for himself and for his team. He does play inside the arc because he's not really a three-point shooter, even though he can shoot, you know, the three. He's not, you know, a shooter. And he's two-way. You know, he's a shot blocker. He does play defense, and he plays offense. He plays both sides of the ball. So let me know what you guys think. This has been my Cooper Flagg build for NBA 2K25. It has been your boy Swiftly. Please be sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe for more NBA 2K25 content. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.